FTF.GG welcomes you to the Barr Visuals FTF Cup Series from Nashville. It is the Sam Bass 250 here from the Nashville Super Speedway. 250 miles, 188 laps are on the board for tonight's race. FTF is back after its little hiatus for the summer. There'll be another one, I think, later on throughout the summer, but we're back nonetheless here at Nashville Super Speedway, just over a mile long. Glad to have you along for the ride, everybody. Jacob Pitts, Ben Easterday with you. Zach Johnson, our producer for tonight. Once again, another full field here from Nashville, and if it's anything like the racing that we saw in the Xfinity Series race earlier on today, should be in for a pretty good show, but passing here on the sim and these race cars is pretty tough.
Yeah, dirty air is in iRacing, and it's here to stay, and we'll see how close these guys can race to each other. The exit of Turn 4 is pretty tight. Same thing with the exit of Turn 2, so we'll see how close they can race and see if they can keep it straight.
Let's go through our driver lineup quickly here. Kevin King is on the pole with Alex Kolonix to the outside. Michael P. Frisch and Michael Frisch and Brian Mercurio, third and fourth. Kyler Wynn is right now in fifth, but he's starting at the back. And then you got Matthew Zwack on the outside, Wyatt Tinsley and Tyler Gary in row 4. Diallo there in row 5. He's also going to go to the back. Wynn and Diallo are going to start 2 laps down because of screwing around during the drivers' meeting. And they'll have Brandon Hawken in 10th. The rest of the grid, Landon Mills, Jonathan Oates, Michael Rosero, Nate Stewart, Logan Helton, David Cabrera, Michael Guest, Corey Cook, Andrew Cootie, Lucas Blessel, the top 20, Nathan Rabideau, Josh Parker, Brett Punkari, Kevin McAdams, Nick Miller, AJ Green, Robert Dorman, Philip McCandless, Spencer Ray, Matt Spalding, David Brown, Art Reimer, Juan Jimenez, Brandon Fetterplace, Chris Davis, Ryan Rocky Cosman, Chris Wetz, Gary Waterworth, Justin Little, Matt Danson, Cole Frelick, Scotty Smith. Here we go. Glad you're watching. Let's have some fun. Green flag from Nashville.
Great job, Jake. All right, they're entering turn 1.
Yep.
Double file. So far, so good. Not seeing anyone screwing it up. Everyone keeps it straight, and we still got a battle up front.
And Kevin King not quite clear up on the outside with that 22 of Alex Kolonix up there running some different colors on that number 22. But now Kevin King gets the lead. Here comes Mercurio around the outside trying to take third away from Wyatt Tinsley.
Yeah, and starting a single file out up front. Meanwhile, we got, a dive in the back. He gets loose, but he keeps it straight. Back there, that was turn P4. He's still loose, and they're going 3 wide in the backstretch.
Michael P. Frisch also started from pit road. I'm not sure what was up with that, as did Matt Spalding. I guess they just missed the grid.
I think those are previous week penalties.
Well, I know Kenny Brady was one. And then the 2 guys from practice, 3 wide. Here we go.
Meanwhile, not much happening in the front except for around P6. They're double wide. Matthew Zwack trying to ride that high line as Gary gets loose in front of him. He's going to go in front of him. And Zwack's going to bounce off the wall and then go into the inside of Gary and enter turn 3. See if he gets.
And now Rosero doesn't know where to go there in that 023. Went to go to the high side, didn't have the room, then went to the bottom, and that's where Zwack went. So he gets stuck behind that 7. And now I'll try and pass him down the front straightaway. That won't work. Here comes Brandon Hawken around the outside, who won a couple of weeks ago when. Heck, I can't even remember where we were at the last time we covered. Hawken won, but that's about all I can recall from wherever we were racing a couple of weeks ago. Was it Daytona Road? It might have been. I'm not sure. How about the battle for the lead, though? Brian Mercurio on the back bumper of Kevin King.
Yep, he's been hanging there. Again, dirty air might be killing it for him on the exits of the turns, but he's keeping up, which is pretty surprising, like compared to Alex Kalanick's there in P3. He's starting to drop off from the leaders. But here is Brian Mercurio. He is there. He's looking at the inside.
Gonna have some lap traffic just ahead as well, Matt Spalding. But here comes Mercurio looking to the inside. Can't quite get underneath that 29. See if he can get the speed on exit.
Yeah, Kevin King tried to close the door there as they enter turn 3. Let's see if he tries to squeeze Brian again. He does. Just inches away from each other. Who gets the better run? I think it's Kevin King there. He's going to continue to lead laps here.
Gonna try it. Let's see what Mercurio can do back down into turn number 1 again. Still side by side for the lead. Now Kalanick is starting to close in the gap as that 29 rolls that outside line. Mercurio got a little bit loose, and that's all for now, but King not quite able to clear. Try it again in 3.
Yeah, cleared him, but now Alex Kalanick has joined the fight here. If they stay single file in the front of him, Kalanick will go away, but it doesn't look like that's what they want to do. They want to get that lead as a lapper is in the way. That is Matt Spalding.
He moves up, gets out of town, and that's that. At least for now, that's going to box Wyatt Tinsley in. Landon Mills will go by before he gets to Spalding. Now Spalding slides up, gets out of the way.
Well, back to the lead. Brian Mercurio is just looking for any kind of option. He goes high in turn 1, try to diamond it a bit better so he gets a good exit here in turn 2. He's got the run. He's looking to the inside. I think he's there.
For the lead. Brian Mercurio going to try it again down on the bottom. Washes up the racetrack, has to get out of it. That 29 might get a better launch off, but he kind of drove it wide. Back to the line. King will lead yet another lap. He's led every lap thus far. 10 laps down. A lot more to go. The end of stage 1 is lap number 50. So they've got 40 to go here in stage number 1. The stage lengths 50, 40, and then the rest of the race.
Yeah, I think
only a 40-lap stage 2.
Bounced it off the wall there a bit. But he's doing good. Still leading.
Mercurio will try it again here on this end of the speedway. Looks down to the inside. King shuts the door. Down to the yellow line. Here we go. He's going to look to the top. He's there.
He sent it too.
A lot of grip out there, but he's going to try and make it work.
Yeah, I don't think
Doesn't
he's
get
got
the speed.
exit, though.
Yeah. So Kevin King holds on, at least for now. Side-by-side action further back in the field. 14th, Nick Miller, David Cabrera back here. The first side-by-side battle. Jonathan Oates there as well.
Yeah, and I believe it's Andrew Cootie that's holding them up and causing this, as we got dive bombs trying to happen. That's one thing I've been seeing looking farther back in the pack is some people treating it like a short track and trying to dive it in underneath the car in front of them, which if the car is not looking in their mirror, you're probably going to cause a big one.
How about for the lead? Side by side again. Mercurio on the inside. Kevin King up on the outside off the corner.
King still has it.
No change at the front. It's a better 3 and 4. Here he goes to the top again. King got a little loose on exit. This might be the best shot Mercurio's had all night long.
Yeah, he's tried the bottom. Now he's trying the top.
Maybe if he can get it to stick.
I think he's there.
Oy! Almost got put in the wall by King. To the bottom. And Mercurio gets the outsider roll that time. He's going to take the lead at the line. See if he can clear him.
Yeah, but Kevin King kind of sent it in there and made it stick. And he's going to be able to clear him.
I love fresh tires or fresher tires. They can stick it down there on the bottom. Kevin King retakes the lead. I think Mercurio's just like, what do I got to do to get by this guy?
Yeah, and Mercurio's definitely using more tires, especially being stuck in the dirty air. As Landon Mills, he's come from P11, and now he's up to P3. He's probably the one to watch out for these leaders.
One of the biggest movers so far, the biggest mover, Matt Danson. He's gone from 41st to 25th, up 16 spots since the drop of the green flag. Up in the top 10, Michael Guest. He shot up 9 from 17th to 8th. And then Mills, who shot up from 11th to the 3rd spot. Here comes Mercurio again, trying the top.
Yep, this battle just won't end. Brian, I think he got a little loose there. Yep, and now he's got a friend.
Oh! Almost chopped the nose off of Landon Mills.
So I think it turned from the battle to the lead to the battle for P2. As Brian Mercurio is going to have to look in his mirror a little bit more, as we got a little more players coming. We got Alex Kolonix back in here, Wyatt Tinsley, Michael Guest, Tyler Gary, Zwack. We're all coming back and catching the leaders.
Kolonix and Tinsley side by side. I don't know why, but I have a different car for Tyler Gary than what the broadcast has. Like, not even close. That's why I made the comment about Gary's car earlier.
I mean, it's dark green. I would still mark him for not having cars. We are 3 wide in front of that non-car.
No, the car that I have is pink, white, and blue. So I'm trying to figure out how in the world I got that and you guys got the dark green 40.
Trade paint things. Remember to check the box?
Uh-huh. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see a lot of these guys up here at the front.
Meanwhile, they're still battling for pretty much the top 10 from P5 back to P10, as we got some door banging happening between Brandon Hawken and Matthew Zwack.
Back for 9th.
Somebody's going to dive into Gary.
That's for 0. Get by Kolonix, maybe. Gonna try it on Gary off 2.
I tell you, those dive bombs are dangerous, and they just keep on doing it.
Well, the later into the run they do it, that's when the risk is really going to be there, because they're not going to have the grip to make it stick. So then they'll just slide up and throw him out of the way as Kolonix gets loose. He comes over the radio and says the tires are gone. He's dropped back now to 11th. He started on the outside of the front row. He's dropped 9 spots over these last couple laps as Rosero leans on Gary coming off 2.
Yeah, some drivers are just driving the tires a little too hard, and others are saving it. It's kind of swapping out those positions as we got a battle for P2. P3, Michael Guest makes the pass on Brian Mercurio.
Guest to the bottom, and Mills is going to look for it as well. Can't quite get there.
Oh, no, I was right. It was for P2.
Mercurio will hang on to 3rd. Rosero and Gary are pretty close together. Rosero taking that 7th spot, make it that 6th spot away.
Yeah, if we're able to go on board with one of these drivers, really listen to the throttle. And the less throttle that you put in there, the more you're going to save those tires. You're really going to hear them playing around with that throttle on exits of turns. So they're on exit of turn 4, and then here on the entry of turn 1, right in mid corner, you're going to hear them play around with that throttle.
On board with Wyatt Tinsley there, as Michael Guest has taken the lead, and Randall Rocky's on pit road. So Guest has come seemingly from nowhere, 17th on the grid, and he has taken the race lead as Brandon Hawkins just went all the way up to the wall and gets it back in the racing line now, way back there, back in the 9th spot. Here comes the 125, Landon Mills looking on the inside of Mercurio. Can't get there.
I'm surprised Mills is able to keep up with these drivers. I expected him with starting P11 that he would have burned off his tires by now, but it looks like Brian Mercurio has worse tire situation than Landon Mills at this point, as Brian's just sideways entering and exiting the turns.
Mills looking for the outside, can't get there, and won't have a good enough run for the crossover as Mercurio gets way loose. Oh.
As it's just turned into a train behind Brian Mercurio, as Wyatt Tinsley takes a look in the grass. That's probably not where you want to run, but he still sends it anyways.
Oh man, a little loose again. Here he comes. Mills to the inside. Rosero trying to follow. He'll go 3 wide.
3 wide.
See how this works.
Yeah, Michael backed out of it smartly, as Brian is just out in the dirt. Where is he going? He's going to lose all these positions, as Tyler Gary makes it 3 wide.
I don't know if this is going to work. Somebody's got to lift.
Yeah, it looks
Nobody.
like Gary was kind of forced to lift there, and they go back 2 by 2.
So Guest and King pulling away from the rest of this pack. 3rd place is Rosero, and behind him it's a hornet's nest. How about Logan Helton? He's entered the picture. You have the lapped car of Omar Diallo in there at the back of this pack underneath Helton. Has almost contacted Mills up the hill sideways.
I think it was contact. We got one car spinning in the grass in the back. I think we'll still be green. It was just a single car. That's
David Cabrera around.
But meanwhile, Landon Mills is so loose, he might be causing a big one here shortly.
Well, and he bounced off of Kolinix, who got really loose coming off too. Meanwhile, with these guys up here at the front, still chaos. Mills and Mercurio side by side. Then you got the lapper of Diallo right behind him trying to get by.
Yeah, with these old tires, these cars are getting super loose on exit of turn 2. Getting kind of loose on exit of turn 4, it looks like. Probably won't be long until we see more cars taking the unlikely hard turn to the left into the grass. As we are with one car trying to go 3 wide. Gary tries to send it on Wyatt Tinsley. This is just a gaggle.
And Diallo tried it again, but can't get there. Mills got loose. Mercurio clear for the spot. Diallo still on the bottom. Inside 20 to go in stage number 1. Whoa, Mills almost got Logan Helton getting into one. I think Mills overdrove his stuff because he is squirming around the racetrack.
Yeah, sorry for that little hiccup. Zach's computer is doing Zach computer things, so these things happen.
We're still on the air, I think.
Yep, we're still on, I believe.
I hope so.
Zach blames ATVO. I blame Zach.
I blame both of them. Nick Miller going to be pitting this time. He's in the 18th position. So he's had enough of these tires. He wants out of them. And there is an access road to pit road, but you don't have to take it. You only have to take the access road on exit of pit road. So he decides to just pull off all four. Tyler Gary sideways, hangs on.
Took the invisible chicane there, but he was able to save it.
Lost a little bit of time.
NASCAR heat moment there.
Yeah. So Logan Helton takes over that 5th spot.
Yeah, and Gary drops all the way back to 7th, it looks like.
Got passed by Jonathan Oates as well.
Meanwhile, if we go back to...
There's one pitting. It's Josh Parker in the 81. Another one coming in behind him.
We have a mixture of new tires and old tires around P14, and things are getting a bit crazy. As we got 3 wide, 2 wide battling, a couple different tire types. Cars sending it on each other.
Well, Freilich coming in this time as well. Brandon Hawkins slid it off for. So Landon Mills is on pit road as well. Chris Wett's in, Josh Parker in, spinner. Cole Freilich makes it to pit road. Scotty Smith in as well. And Freilich misses his box, has to back up. As Michael Guest, rather Kevin King, is being caught by Michael Rosero for that 2nd spot. Here comes Wyatt Tinsley onto pit road. Green flag pit stops just 10 laps before the end of stage number 1. Cabrera in, clips the grass. AJ Green in. Zero takes over that 2nd spot. And now he's going to come in, as will King, to pit road. Logan Helton's going to pit next time by. Rory Cook, Matt Danson, they're coming in. Scotty Smith on pit road. Kolnick's coming in. Hawken coming in. Waterworth, Mercurio, Melillo, Cosman, all pitting this time. Here comes our leader. Jonathan Oates in as well. Oh my, look out. Ooh. Tyler Gary almost got run over. And Mercurio almost did as well. Logan Helton in. David Brown stays out. He's your race leader. Hawkins stayed out as well. I think he saw how many people were pitting and just decided against it. Kevin McAdams stays out. Rabideau stays out. Poncari, Nate Stewart, Spencer Ray, Philip McCandless. A lot of these guys going to come in this time by. Here they come off 4. Hawken comes in. McAdams comes in. Rabideau slides it in. Spencer Ray is in. So that means McCandless, Stewart, Poncari, and Brown are the 4 men that have yet to make a pit stop here in stage number 1. Poncari going to pit this time.
Yeah, and here comes David Brown.
And remarkably, throughout this stint, no pit road penalties thus far. Everybody's kept it clean. Brown and Punkari are in. Nate Stewart leads. He's getting passed by everybody and anybody right now. We got trouble in the back straightaway. Omar Diallo is in it. There was a car stopped. A car crashed on the back straightaway. Brandon Fetter Place lost it on the access road off pit road, got in the grass, and spun out in front of traffic, and there was no caution.
Yeah, but to be fair, he was out of the way before anyone got there.
But he was spinning up the track as cars were coming by. He had guys splitting them.
Yeah.
Fetter Place in again. Stewart and McCandless still staying out.
Now, are these guys able to make it on fuel to the end of the stage? Like, are these guys
find out
just for tires?
Well, remember, we don't get cautions at the end of stages. There's only 4 to go in stage 1. Brandon Fetter Place has been given a black flag, presumably from spinning it and leaving that access road. Stewart stays out for another lap, as does McCandless. 3 to go in stage 1. Michael Guest is in third, 17 seconds behind the leaders. Ryan Nalraki has come around to be in fourth, but remember, he's on a different strategy. Then Michael Rosero fifth, Kevin King in sixth, and Nalraki's getting passed by Rosero now, or at least trying to. King in sixth, Tinsley seventh, Nick Miller eighth, Brian Mercurio ninth, Josh Parker rounding out our top 10, and Parker's on a different strategy. He just got passed by Logan Helton. 2 to go, stage 1.
Yeah, at this point, it's hard to tell.
Stewart's coming in.
Stewart is, oh, he's coming in?
Yep.
He was 2 laps short.
Yeah, just put his hand out the window. He's coming in.
So let's see what Philip Cecil McCandless can do.
See if he can make it.
He's
He
making
will
another
stay
lap.
out. 1 lap to go in stage number 1. He's got a 9-second lead over Guest, and it's closing quick.
Now, Blake is really good at saving fuel. I wonder if his brother has the same.
Oh, got it. I say, that's not Blake? Got it.
He might be out.
Omar Diallo has parked it, and I think McCandless has run it out.
He's still going.
He's out. He's out. He's out. Here comes Guest off the corner.
This is gonna be close.
He wins stage 1.
But was it worth it?
Here comes Guest. Guest finishes second. Now McCandless is going to be way off strategy and probably not going to have a shot to win the race because he's got to go all the way back around. If he stops, he has to tow, and that's going to take an eternity.
I don't know if it was worth the points to stay out there and run out of gas. He's going to be stopped in the back stretch, I think. I don't think he has enough momentum. He's only going 20 miles an hour.
Well, unless he gets a caution to help him out. Stage 2 ends at lap number 90. Michael Guest is back out in front here at Nashville as McCandless, your stage winner, has to tow. Michael Guest, your race leader here from Nashville. We'll step aside. We'll go side by side. Well, we'll go to a break. We'll see you in a bit. Death, taxes, and cautions during commercial breaks. Landon Mills around to bring out our first caution flag of the night. Let's take a look at the replay here. Okay, well, pit stops first, I guess.
Yep. Pit stops are happening. Cars
Rep
getting
Punkari,
tires,
black flag.
cars missing pit stops.
Yep. Been cleared.
Look at
Everybody's
those
staying
cars.
out. Now, this is going to help McCandless. Well, no, it won't because he's still towing. So it won't help him. And Nate Stewart stays out and will be your leader. Remember, he pitted coming to the white flag in stage 1. And with the caution, he will take over the lead. Jonathan Oates takes 2 tires and wins the race off of pit road. He'll start in second. Now the replay for the caution flag.
Yeah, you can see the 25 just gets loose and then goes up into the 22 and spins himself out there. And then stops in the middle of the track.
Nowhere for Cosman to go as well. He got a piece of it.
Yeah, here's another angle. He just was loose before that and then went up in the 22.
So Nate Stewart is your race leader. 54 laps are complete. And this time by, the drivers will choose for the first time tonight. And we'll see the choose lane. It's the access road at the beginning of turn number 3. If you want to be on the bottom, you'll go on the access road. If you want to be on the top, you'll stay on the racetrack.
This is going to be an interesting start because even though Nate Stewart pitted only like a couple laps ago, he's still going to have pretty old tires compared to everyone else. It's going to be interesting to see the drop off as well as the drop off of just taking 2 tires for Oates.
Spalding is lap down, taking the wave around. He will still be 1 down. And there you see what in the world, Fox cameras. There you have it.
Hey, we had the caution
Yeah,
under commercial break Fox, so we got to do the cameras Fox as well.
I guess. So it's Nate Stewart on the bottom with Oates. Michael Guest, the first one to take the outside line. He's joined by Brian Mercurio up there, 1 lap to green.
Maybe next broadcast we can go to commercial on lap 11.
And we're going to go to commercial with 2 to go.
These are just FTF things.
Mm-hmm. We're going to keep on trucking. All right. Nate Stewart, Michael Guest side by side, getting ready for the restart. 55 laps are complete. 5 laps into stage 2. They are using the restart zone. So, you would think they would have used it before, but nobody really had the common sense for it, I guess. Now we're using it since iRacing put it in the sim. So here we go. To the restart zone. Green flag.
Nate got a really good start there.
And Guest did not. Oates hangs on to second, but here comes Guest looking back on the inside.
Yeah, and Oates is with 2 tires, everyone else with 4 tires except for Nate Stewart, your leader. So let's see how they navigate around Oates and see how slow and off pace he is compared to everyone else.
Side by side, Kevin King on the bottom. Brian Mercurio up on the outside. We saw those guys fighting hard back in stage one as Oates gets a little sideways. Yep, here comes King. Down on the bottom, Mercurio gets one spot out of it. Here comes that 81 as well of Josh Parker. He's going to get clear.
I don't think 2 tires was the best strategy there.
Robert Dorman also took 2 tires. He's back in the 23rd position. And Oates has fallen back to 8th already after taking 2 on that caution flag. Nate Stewart still out in front. Guest is closing in, though.
Brian Mercurio's running the outside, trying to get around Kevin King there, and it actually worked out. Let's see if he continues to run that high side. It's not really high, but it's running about middle of the turn, just to stay out of that dirty air, and it seems to be paying off there.
About as high as you can go here without losing too much speed. We'll give him that. As here comes Guest to the inside for the lead. Mercurio trying to follow him.
Yeah, Nate Stewart
Michael
just
Guest
doesn't have the tires, but here comes Brian Mercurio, sends it.
Sent it in deep, and Brian Mercurio goes to the lead. What a pass. Couple of eNASCAR guys slugging it out for the lead.
And like a bag of bricks, Nate Stewart is dropping back.
Jonathan Oates, he's fallen back to 11th and still hemorrhaging spots. All bottled up behind Oates right now. Chris Wett's back there. Kolonix. Whoa, and Oates trying to chop the door of the 71. And he was not clear. Oates will hang on, though.
Yeah, it's big gaggle behind Oates. He's just holding these guys up.
On board with Andrew Cootie in the 25. Blinking. Zach Johnson's computer bursting into flames.
And there goes ATVO.
Oh.
But we still got that serious face. Oh, there it goes.
Yep, there it goes. Battle for 4th. Make it 5th. Nick Miller, Josh Parker.
Yeah, Kevin King seems to be losing ground here as Tyler Gary's looking, but doesn't take it. Meanwhile, behind him, Nate Stewart still kind of hanging in there. He's in P8 as they go 3 wide, almost 4.
Blocking. Yeah. Remember, Rosero was up to 3rd or 2nd before the caution came out. He's now in 8th and losing spots. for the battle for 13th. Helton and Cootie.
Yeah, they're stuck behind Oates with a 2-tire strategy. As Cootie got real loose there, he's going to lose position or two.
Yep, got a little too high. Michael Guest starting to close for that race lead. The gap's down to about 1/10 of a second.
Yep, he's getting there, but not there quite yet. Maybe has 3 or 4 laps before he gets there.
See what the lap times are here at the line. Guest faster by 0.04 of a second. Seems like he makes his time up on the latter half of the speedway from turn 3 to the start finish line before he gives it all back in 1 and 2.
Meanwhile, behind the 2 leaders, we got the Kevin King train holding a bunch of drivers up. Gary, Nick Miller, Wyatt Tinsley. But up front, still Brian Mercurio.
It's just a choo-choo train right now around the racetrack.
There's some action going on at the caboose here. We got some double wide action as Andrew Cootie puts a block down on who is that? David Cabrera 4. They're double wide now.
Oh man, Rosero just got loose up off the corner. Hangs onto the spot against David Brown. Here's that battle that Ben was talking about. Cootie, Cabrera, and now the 0-1 of AJ Green. Not the wide receiver. For the lead, here comes Guest. Tried to set up Mercurio there in 1. Couldn't quite get to him.
Got loose.
Here we go.
Side by side.
15 to go in stage 2.
Guess really sends it in there. It sticks. Guest is now your leader.
Michael Guest will be our guest and take over that lead spot. Kevin King in 3rd, catching Mercurio. Then you got to go back to Tyler Gary and Wyatt Tinsley, and then Nick Miller and Michael Rosero. They're in the battle right now for that 6th spot. A battle right behind Matt Danson, Josh Parker. Danson started 41st tonight. He's picked up 33 spots. There's that battle for 6th. There's a battle, Nate Stewart, Logan Helton. Stewart still on those just a little bit older tires.
Yeah, but he's hanging in there.
Yeah. Now that the tire's balanced out, he seems to be okay.
Just needs to get off the top side. That'll be good.
And he qualified 14th, so he's right around where he started. Kevin King did take over that 2nd spot, by the way, and is closing in on Michael Guest by about a 10th a lap.
So Kevin King might have just been saving his tires there. He was the head train. He was the head engine on the train, and now he's just pulled away, and he's gaining on Michael Guest.
Wyatt Tinsley gets by Tyler Gary for 4th place. As a little further back, David Brown, Nick Miller side by side.
Brown just a little bit loose on the inside. Really sends it there. He's able to get it to stick, and he gets that position. Ooh, as boys are starting to get loose here.
Yep. 10 to go, stage 2. Now, they can make it to the end on 2 stops, I believe. My math is right. Well,
it is your
never
math.
mind. Well, no, my math is wrong anyway, because it's not 90 to the end. It's 98 from the end of the stage. So they're going to have to stop pretty much right after the stage is done. And then they can't just split the stage in half because it's 98 laps, not 90. And they can only make it somewhere in the area of 45 laps on fuel.
Well,
so they're going to have to make
go 50.
Well, but that was one guy who was saving to make 50. And they're not going to do that more than once, I wouldn't think. So I would think as long as we stay green, it's a 3-stop race from this point. Eight to go, stage 2. Oh, Michael Frisch, he's had a good rebound. He started from the pits as Nate Stewart hits the fence.
Yeah, Nate Stewart's tires are screaming at the moment.
Frisch was supposed to start in 3rd. Instead, he started from pit road. He missed the start. And here he is now in 13th.
Hear he.
Yep, hear ye. There's Kolonix taking over 9th. And that battle's not done yet, though. Here comes Nick Miller again. Now he thought about it. Couldn't quite make it happen. Six to go, stage 2.
Up front, still half a second lead for Michael Guest. Kevin King just hasn't been able to keep up, so that's why we're not focusing on them as they're 3 wide.
3 wide. It's Kevin McAdams on the bottom.
Ooh, they touch.
Logan Helton up top. And the 81, we've got one in the wall behind him.
No, he's driving. Nope, he's not driving good.
Yep, he's around.
Oh, my
That's
God.
the 01. No caution?
Nah, they're driving good.
What? In the racing line? No caution if it's single car?
Hey, you try to admin.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that, like, it's like being an umpire, right? Obvious balls and strikes.
Well, every once in a while, you're going to call a strike outside the zone.
Well, that one wasn't very outside the zone.
Well, sometime Angel Hernandez is calling it.
Well,
As we got a car going into the pits.
that's the 81 of Josh Parker. He will pit 3 laps before the end of the stage, as will Matt Spalding, who's multiple laps down.
Admin currently defending himself.
Josh Parker's parked the car, done for the night. AJ Green parked the car, done for the night. Don't know if he would have done that, but he's done it. Battle for 10th, Frisch and Oates with 2 to go in stage 2.
Oates is really squeezing Frisch there.
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's what you want to do with how loose these cars are towards the end. We're coming to the stage. Be 1 to go.
1 to go in stage number 2. For Michael Guest. Got a more than half-second lead over Kevin King, who's in second. Mercurio third, Tinsley fourth, Tyler Gary fifth. Michael Guest comes up off the corner, and he will win stage 2 here in Nashville. Oates barely hanging on to that top 10 over Frisch. There at the line.
Yeah, they're battling. Oates still continuing to squeeze Frisch. Oh, man, it's tight. And Frisch is loose. Oh, really loose.
You ain't kidding.
All right,
Michael Guest is your race.
Yeah, I think these guys are about to wreck. I think it's time to go to caution or commercial.
Yeah. Michael Guest is your race leader. He's got a 7/10 of a second lead over Kevin King. You're watching the Sam Bass 250 from Nashville. We're back after this. Pit stop's about to be underway. And here we go. David Cabrera, Nate Stewart all coming in. And Nate Stewart just got a black flag speeding on pit road. Nate Stewart locked up the tires, but he could not slow down in time. So he will have to sit another 30-some seconds in the box for speeding coming to pit road. Here comes one. Trying to make it. Wyatt Tinsley, he missed it going through the grass. Connelix hits him.
Oh, no.
And misses pit road. Connelix has to go through the grass. And couldn't go in, otherwise he was going to get the penalty. No other black flags thus far. Michael Guest is in. Here comes Oates. Brandon Hawken is in. Rabideau, Landon Mills, Gary Waterworth. Another one missed pit road. That's Juan Jimenez. He didn't even try. Nate Stewart back on pit road. Here comes King and Mercurio. Melillo coming in. Helton, McAdams. Matthew Zwack is on. David Brown is your race leader. He's coming in. Frisch is coming in. Chris Wetz stays out. He is your race leader.
And
Brett Punkari's coming in.
Tried to go back in time. Didn't quite work out.
That teleporter just didn't work. Yeah. Chris Wetz is in. Or that time machine, whatever.
Yeah, what do you expect from a DeLorean?
Michael Guest will come back around and will retake the race lead. Here he is off two. Tyler Gary is second. That is the battle for the lead right in your picture. Wyatt Tinsley is talking over the radio like he made contact. Like his car is broken, but I don't know who in the world he would have hit.
The rear end.
Just rewinding, it doesn't look like he hit anybody, unless it happened before the pit stops. But he still didn't hit anybody. All right, well. Whatever. Battle for fifth, Michael Rozzero and Matt Danson.
Oh, it was entering the pits.
Oh, when he bounced off Connelix.
Yeah. There's a little bit of net code. Meanwhile, up front, it's Michael Guest, Tyler Gary, Kevin King. We got a battle further back. Looks like Rabidabadoo.
That's back in 11th and 12th. Frisch in front of him, Nick Miller behind. David Brown there as well. So that's 10th through 13th. We are past halfway. We've got 85 to go.
We're way past halfway.
I didn't say we just passed it. I just said we're past halfway. Stop booing me. I'm right.
We passed it 20 years ago.
Yeah. Here comes Danson to the bottom. He takes over that 5th spot.
Meanwhile, the field is pretty spread out. The only kind of side-by-side racing I see is back in P15 is, well, that's a lapper, so never mind.
Yeah.
So, how was your day, Jake? What did you do today?
Pretty solid. Watched a lot of racing. Watched the Xfinity Series race here, which was another 250-mile, 188-lapper event. Then watched the SRX race, and Tony Stewart won. Can't complain about that. And I watched him almost beat the crap out of Ernie Francis, and I watched Paul Tracy get dumped. So overall, good day.
Paul Tracy crashed out twice. It was a great day.
Yeah. Too busy thinking about feet inside the car. Coming to 80 laps to go, Michael Guest continues to lead. And now in the question when everybody decides to pull the trigger and come down to pit road for what they're going to try to make is their final stop, but I think it's pushing it.
Yeah, it's definitely pushing it. Might be a two-stopper?
It's close. Oh, and Robert Wickens won today for the first time in 5 years.
Know who also won today? Joe Nemechek at Mid-Ohio. In the Vintage Grand Prix, won in a Gen 4 Toyota.
You know what? At least this race is going better than ARCA.
Is ARCA on?
ARCA is running. I'm not sure what's going on other than this tweet from Chris Knight. It writes, Jesus, #ARCA.
That sounds about right.
No context, no nothing. Just that. Sounds like somebody may have gotten penalized because he spun 3 cars within 95 laps.
Where are they running?
I believe Elko Speedway in Minnesota.
Is this the East or the West Series, or is it combined?
I would think the East.
No.
Let me do some investigating here.
I'd rather watch the Cup Series than ARCA. That's not saying much.
Yep. So they are at Elko for the Menards 250. Sammy Smith leads. Rajat Karuth is in 7th. In a field of 20.
I think we had a car in the wall.
Trouble, that's Miller, yeah. No caution. Stay green. He got that all pretty, well, not too hard. Just kind of missed the corner, bounced off of it, and kept going. It's going to cost him some spots, though. He was in the 14th position. He's now back in 16th. It's Chris Wetz and Ryan Naraki. That is 23rd.
Yep, it sure is.
Yep. And ARCA is going to be coming your way next. It'll be out at Mid-Ohio, not this upcoming weekend, but the next weekend, July 8th.
Yeah, that's a good skip. I don't even think it's happening on the same day as Truck Series, so it's definitely going to be a skip for me. I think they're running on Friday, and trucks are running Saturday.
Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, I'm going to be home.
Yep. It's all right. You can watch it on Fox Sports 1. I wouldn't do that either if I were you, but...
Yeah, you definitely could watch it on Fox Sports 1.
Yeah.
But
if I really felt bored...
just take a nap.
Yeah, and all the TV channels got wiped out. Oh, my. All right, well... How about the battle for fifth? Michael Rossero's trying to get on Matt Danson here. One of the closer battles on the racetrack.
And Michael's trying to use the outside there, try to get in that momentum. He has it. He's going to take the inside. Let's see if he dives in here, turn one. He didn't really have to. Wait a minute, is he running a Cobra? Can I get a look at that front end?
Yeah, it looks like it.
There's definitely a snake on the front of that. That definitely does not look like a horse.
Let's get a Fox zoom on the front of the car, please. We'll get it here.
There we go.
GT 900.
As I'm hearing him clutch. I'm hearing someone clutch.
Well, maybe they're trying to make it on one stop. Apparently that's a 5, not a 9, by the way. Whatever. I see it for a second and a half. Maybe that's a 5. Michael Guest continues to lead. 68 laps to go. We've only had one caution.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed. There's Rabideau, Cabrera, and Mills.
This is 13, 14, and 15th.
Yep, good rebound for Mills after he had his spin. There's Kyler Wynn on pit road. Kyler Wynn is not on the lead lap.
3 laps down, so he might be sending it and packing it up.
He is. Remember, he was one of those guys that started from pit road for screwing around during the driver's meeting.
Yeah, it's not Moon Car. You can't screw around during practice here.
Yeah, or Kevin McAdams gets mad.
And you
Others
do not
too,
want to get Kevin McAdams mad.
Dare I ask, what's upcoming?
Oh, we got a pass. Pass for third.
Oh, here we go. Third. So Mercurio took second away, and Kevin King now takes third away from Tyler Gary. Let's see, what is upcoming? So, No Winstel this week. Yep, because Nashville's late. So ERL is at Richmond with the modifieds on Wednesday night at 7:30. Road to Pro is back not this week, but next week. The NASCAR qualifying iRacing series from Mid-Ohio. Oh, joy. That's a 9 o'clock start next week.
Nah, that one's gonna be
FTF
a
is
banger.
back. FTF is back this weekend, this next upcoming weekend, July 2nd from Road America. Another like 10 o'clock-ish, maybe a little earlier starting time. And then Winstel is back next weekend from not Daytona, New Hampshire? Indianapolis?
They're definitely racing somewhere.
Chicagoland, maybe?
Maybe
I think Chicagoland might be the winning
Street
ticket.
Course.
I think Chicagoland's the winning ticket. Trying to think back to those old schedules that were the same every year. Pretty sure. So, yes. Chicagoland. An 8 o'clock start there next Sunday. Now, what in the world did you just say? U.S. Isn't it Sherlock 400, not Sheetrock? Am I going
don't mind
crazy?
Jake talking to himself. He is crazy.
Oh, brother.
It's Sheetrock, Sherlock.
What the? How did I have that wrong for so long?
David L. Brown is pitting.
Yeah, and he's not going to make it to the end. I don't know why in the world you'd pit here, but he is.
No. Fresh tires. I think
Matt
someone
Spalding's going to do the same, but he's a lap down.
I saw tire marks in the grass and smoke. I don't know where it came from.
I thought it was USG Sherlock. What do you want from me?
Meanwhile, we're about to have a battle for the lead.
That's
Brad
Mercurio.
has caught up to Michael Guess, and Kevin King is following.
I'm sorry, cotton up?
Caught up.
We're falling apart. Oh, brother.
Worst of dishes on Tuesday.
Yeah?
Brian got a little loose there. Kevin King is just going to ride behind him, maybe. Maybe not, as we got lappers in the way.
Now, these guys just came off pit road. That's Spalding. And I think Chris Davis?
Yep.
Yep. Here comes King. He takes second. Away from Mercurio. David Cabrera says he's coming in. There's a pass. McAdams on Miller. That's for 14th. 55 laps to go. Top three still all over each other, back into one.
All right, we got Brian going for the pass. P2, he takes it. Passing. NASCAR.
Wow. Poor Dangle Snipe got timed out for 1 second because he said Kevin King has no neck. That's incredible. And Philip McCandless's car blew up while sitting on pit road.
Oh, he is 33 laps. He was probably sitting there idle. And when your engine is on, it tends to heat up when there's no air going through it. And then soon enough, there's a basket going down the stairs.
We need a cutaway car for you to show us where the air goes.
Yeah, we need Zach with the magic pen.
Tyler Gary on pit road. Here we go. Tinsley on as well. Green flag pit stops for your race leaders trying to make it to the end on fuel.
Yeah, this should be their last stop.
Here comes Matt Danson in. We are at 50 to go. At this point, they should be able to make it from here to the end as long as they save fuel.
Yeah, and Philip McCandless did make it 50 laps. I don't know when he started saving fuel, but he was able to go 50 laps. So if these guys start clutching and start saving right at the start, they should be able to make it with no problem. Might even have enough for a possible green-white checker.
Jonathan Oates in. Brett Punkari in as well. After green flag stops, we'll get a word with Phil McCandless. Plessel is in. Brandon Hawken in. Landon Mills in. Trouble! Mills! We're good.
Oh.
Trouble! Jonathan Oates, I think, slowed down to make it to pit road, but missed it. Oh, no, he just came off pit road. Never mind. I know what I'm talking about. David L. Brown somehow broke the car. Oh. David L. Brown hooked it into the outside wall on the front straightaway and killed the car. That was 15 laps ago. Whoa, Art Reimer on pit road. Art. You can't get hit on pit road. He didn't get hit. Not when you're still in your box. Mercurio and King on pit road. Juan Jimenez in as well. Here comes Michael Guest.
Yep, here comes the leaders. Or a leader.
Ooh, he locked him up, but he did not speed. Frisch stays out. Kevin McAdams pitting. Chris Sweat's pitting. Brett Punkari stays out. Matthew Zwack pitting. Here comes Frisch. And Punkari's going to come in this lap as well. So everybody has made their final stop, at least under green. And this will put Tyler Gary out in front. The short pitting worked out for the 40. And he has a 2.5 second lead over Michael Rosero, then Matt Danson and Wyatt Tinsley. Mercurio, Kevin King, and Michael Guest currently sits 9th, but that'll change as he crosses the stripe. He'll round out in 7th. Now let's talk with our Stage 1 winner, about an hour late, Philip McCandless.
Yes,
Was
sir.
it worth it?
Oh, totally. 100%. I mean, I think once you commit to doing that, I mean, I qualified in the back half of the field. I think I started 28th. I ran NIS this morning and did well in it, but, you learn it's just really hard to pass here. So it just kind of popped up, hey, what can I do to try and switch things up, get off strategy? For some reason, I guess it's a hereditary thing that McCandless is, instead of just trying to use our pace to beat people, we got to think up really stupid strategies. But just thought we'd try something different. And once I commit to it and I lose so much time, I knew I was going to have to tow and everything like that. But it's like, once you commit, at least I was able to put it in the green, white checkered victory lane, I guess.
Do you wish maybe you waited on that strategy to then do it at the end of the race to try and get the overall win?
No, I think I was happy with trying it. I messed up because I didn't start saving until maybe 3 or 4 laps into the race. If I had started like initially from lap 1, probably would have been able to at least sputter around to the pit road, so I'd be able to pit. The caution came out at a decent time right after I pitted, but just couldn't get didn't get enough cautions or anything to get back on the lead lap. But yeah, it was totally worth it. I'm very interested to see if how these guys do it, because I mean, especially at the end of that run, I was having to clutch a lot just to be able to putter it like I did.
So next week we're at Road America. Definitely another track where fuel mileage can come into play. Are you starting to brew up the plans for a stage win next week?
Heck yeah. I mean, at the Daytona road course, before I realized that they weren't going to throw a caution for the end of stage 2, I was clutching in that race too. If I'm starting at the back, I'm here to have fun. I don't mean that in a way of I just throw caution to the wind, but you especially at a track where it's just so hard to pass and make track position, you just got to do something different, and maybe cautions fall your way.
Well, congrats on the stage win, Philip, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you then.
Philip McCandless, your stage 1 winner. As now we have 38 laps to go. Tyler Gary, your leader, a 2.6 second gap over Wyatt Tinsley. And the guy that's dominated this race, Michael Guest, currently sits in 7th. Get an update on Justin Melillo and Kevin McAdams. Justin Melillo sits in the 29th position on the lead lap, and Kevin McAdams sits in 21st.
Great one.
That's your
great
Justin Melillo and Kevin McAdams update. What's that?
Great runs by the. Oh my God.
Yeah?
Nate Stewart just almost turned Gary.
So now Zwack trying to get by here, or already did.
Yeah, and these guys are lappers.
Yep,
So
on
they're lap
fresher
back.
tires, so they're faster.
Let's see if Gary gets back at him. We might need a replay of that one.
Zach. Oh, brother. Just go back 60 seconds and...
Nope, you're good.
Yeah, no, it didn't happen yet. Oh, what? Do it again.
There you are.
Here it is. Eventually. I think we got to go around another
Might
lap
need
and a
one more
half.
lap.
Yep. So this is not live.
Oh. I don't even know what lap you're on.
It was
All right,
before
you
that.
passed it.
Here we go.
It's going to be in a turn
Oh, my.
4, I believe. It's all right. Nothing's happening live.
Yeah, we're not missing anything other than the laps tick away. Here it is.
There it is.
Wow. Put the air on his spoiler, got him loose.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That was the leader.
I can't believe we needed to struggle for 2 minutes to see that. I'm kidding.
Hey, I wasn't the one struggling. That was Zach. I just recommended to do a simple replay.
How about the battle for third? Rosero and Mercurio. Yeah, David L. Brown, his car broken from earlier. Many laps down after he had a meatball flag. Juan Jimenez parks the car, done for the night. Trouble. I don't know. I just heard somebody come over the radio and say wreck. It was Tyler Gary that said it. And looking, I think it involved Wyatt Tinsley.
Trouble.
Unless we're just making crap up.
This is just going to turn into a bottom split stream at this point.
I mean, I think we're just making crap up.
I mean, we got the TNT ticker on. We're calling out
I'm
cautions.
going to go
that
find
don't
Jordan
exist.
Worth.
Yeah, we just need Jordan Worth.
Zero just gave a spot over to Guest and King. Rosero really off the pace.
Yeah, he might be saving fuel.
Tires or something. The gap is 3.3 seconds, so Tyler Gary not saving fuel. Remember, he was the earliest to pit. We've got 29 to go. I think he's open for a caution. Because he's not saving, and he ain't going to make it. 51 laps, not saving here.
Yeah, I don't know what his plan is. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Wow, a pass. For position, that's 11th.
That's definitely for permission. For permission.
For permission.
Nope, as Cole Freilich is about to get permission to lose his spot to Landon Mills there.
Wow.
Hey, sometimes you have to ask for permission. And when you ask permission nicely, you'll get the position.
Uh-huh. There's Robert Dorman on pit road. Mercurio is now catching Tyler Gary. The gap down to just 2 seconds.
Thank you for the raid.
Dollar General Swiss. DG, Dollar General, whatever.
Got a battle.
Wyatt Tinsley's pitting.
15th? Oh, all right.
He did not speed. Yeah, close, but interesting that he's just cutting this last bit in half. I don't think it'll work if enough people stay out.
I think at that point you're just hoping for either a caution, because I don't think the tire fall off is that bad. Because you got to remember.
I mean, Gary's already fallen off a second.
When Philip McCandless did his thing, he was still leading.
Somebody needs to mute Tyler Gary. Keep saying they're wrecking when they're not.
These are Gary things. That's what he wants a wreck, because he's not saving fuel. I think he's screwed himself over.
Well, now I think he's saving. The gap is 0.8 of a second. Mercurio's running half a second a lap faster. David Cabrera pitting. He was in 23rd. Wyatt Tinsley is still on pit road. I don't think him pitting was for strategy.
Yeah, it might just be over.
Because again, he did not get a black flag. So he's not serving a penalty or anything. This time by, Tyler Gary will take 20 laps to go. Here from Nashville, Cole Freilich is in 13th. He's pitting. He pitted 2 laps before Gary. So he won't be able to make it. Huh.
Here comes Brian. He's there.
Yeah, he pitted. Thanks for listening, Zach.
Who?
Mercurio to the lead, round the outside. I'm kidding. I did call the Freilich was pitting, right, Ben?
You did?
Okay. I was just making sure that I just didn't hear it and then think it and not say it. So Brian Mercurio takes the lead. Michael Guest is taken second. Tyler Gary falls to third. Kevin King's a little more than a second back. We're inside 20 to go.
And Cole Freilich did pit.
Yep.
That's a shame.
Well, gotta do what you gotta do. Tyler Gary's pitting this time. Here's Freilich again. Yeah, he did. black flag, Tyler Gary. Speeding on pit road on entry. He couldn't make it on fuel. He lost the lead, and then he speeds on the money stop. Tyler Gary will not win this race. $16 to go.
Yeah, meanwhile, back up front, we got Brian Mercurio in the lead with Michael Guest stalking him behind. Got a couple lappers in front of them, but I believe they have fresh tires.
Brian Mercurio has 3 wins on the season. Michael Guest has 2 more. Guest has only made 9 starts, though. Mercurio has been here for 12 starts. Nate Stewart, well, I was going to say he could come out of here the point leader, but he's fallen back to 28th, and Michael P. Frisch, the current point leader, sits in 4th. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. $175 laps in the record book.
Battle for 18th. That's Zwack and Waterworth, and that battle's already done. Cool. How about the battle for 28th? Nate Stewart and Cole Freilich. And that's done.
Wow.
McAdams and Cook. I heard Kevin come over the radio and say, "Are you letting me by or what?" There he goes. Wyatt Tinsley. Disconnected. Done for the night. This time by, we'll have 11 laps to go. As Brian Mercurio looks for win number 4 on the season. His last win coming back in May at Chicagoland. He won at Auto Club, and then he went back-to-back races at Darlington and Chicagoland, a second at Charlotte, and a 3rd place at the Daytona Road Course, the last race that we covered. 7 top 5s on the season. As Corey Cook's going to pit from the 11th spot. Can't make it to the end. Only 1 DNF back at Talladega, finished 34th. Had a whopping 83 incident points at Coda and finished 5th. You could tell track limits weren't enforced. Nine to go this time by for Brian Mercurio.
Yeah, and that lead is just growing and growing and growing.
What is Waterworth doing?
4/10. Well, now it kind of lowered down.
Way off pace up against the wall. Yeah. That other one that's there is the 23 of Scotty Smith. Guest was a 10th quicker that last time by. Here we are, 8 to go.
Oh, Guest really gained there. I think he's starting to send it in turns 1 and turns 3. He's really getting that entry in and is able to get it to stick. I don't know how long.
Another 10th quicker that last time by.
Yeah, I don't know how long he's going to be able to continue it, though, without burning his tires. Won't be long before he starts getting loose.
I don't know if he cares right now. 7 to go. Nick Miller is on pit road.
Oh, that was a big gain.
Oh, yeah, this battle for the lead not done yet. Guest is working on him. And he backs off 3 and just gets the launch on exit. See where lap times stand this time by. Guest just a hair faster, couple hundredths.
Man,
6 to go.
Is just sending it there in turn 1, and then just somehow makes it stick all the way around the turn 2. His troubled part, though, is turn 3. I think he sends it in here, but it just kills him on exit. And right there,
But we got loose.
Apron.
He kept his foot in it, though. Didn't lose too much. 5 laps to go. You might have something before this thing's said and done.
He's getting there.
The gap down inside a 10th.
He's there.
We
but
really
then-
backed off.
I don't know if he backed up or Dirty Air just tightened up that car a bit too much.
4 more from Nashville.
God, he just sends it so hard in turns. Just ruins his exit, though. Do you think you'll put the bumper?
Oh no, these are 2 NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series drivers. We'll see if they do put the bumper to each other here. Play bumper
There you go.
tag, 3 to go.
Might have some lapper issues.
Oh, lap traffic.
Dirty
that's
Air on the
Collins.
nose of Brian.
Chris Davis just in front of him. 2 laps to go. And Kolonix is in the way. Here we go.
I think he just came off of pit road too, so
Yep.
he's got fresher tires. He's just gonna stay there.
That
Brian Mercurio, Dirty Air.
I'd be screaming on the radio right now. Here we go.
Here's also Chris.
Now they're going to be
Davis
side by
away.
side with Chris Davis. Last lap. 1 to go in Nashville. Does Michael Guest have anything for the 41?
Oh, I say Chris Davis
Davis in the wall.
tries to crash it there.
Yeah, an evasive maneuver. Here they come. Down the backstretch. Guest is going to have to send it here into 3. Looking for win number 3. Fires it in deep. He gets it to stick, but it won't be enough. Brian Mercurio with win number 4 on the season wins at Nashville. Trouble. That's Malillo.
People might be running out of gas.
Malillo is out of gas. That's why he spun it. He was already running out in the middle of 4. Matthew Zwack is out. You got a good amount of people out of gas. Matt Spalding, I think, just completely ran out, but burning down the house. Brian Mercurio. Yet another win on the season. Brian Mercurio gets your race win. Michael Guest won stage 2. He finishes in the 2nd position. Kevin King finishes 3rd. Michael P. Frisch finishes in 4th. Brandon Hawkin finishes 5th. Logan Helton, a good finish for him in 6th. Kevin McAdams finishes 7th. Jonathan Oates 8th. Chris Wetz 38th to 9th. And Landon Mills rounds out the top 10. 11th is Brett Punkari. Okay, I guess we're not showing the rest of the results.
And the rest does not matter.
Wow. All right. So then Punkari, Danson, Rabideau, Zwack, Waterworth, Ionescu, Rosero, Nalraki, Cabrera, and Cook. That's your top 20. Freilich, Ray, Plessel, Miller, Malillo, Kolinix, Davis, Gary, Stewart, and Dorman, your top 30. And then the rest. Reimer, Spalding, Scotty Smith, Fetterplace, Brown, Tinsley, Jimenez, Cootie, Wynn, McCandless, Parker, Green, Diallo. The final drivers. And, yep. Yep, there you go.
Those are final.
Yep, better late than never. All right, let's talk with our race winner. Brian Mercurio. Really strong car there when it mattered most. Was fuel a concern there at the end?
Definitely, yeah. Across the line with 0.1 gallon left, so you could definitely say fuel was a concern.
Definitely had a clean race tonight across the board. Only that one caution flag right at the end of stage 1. Otherwise, it was all green racing. Good starting spot, able to translate to a pretty darn good finish, winning the race.
Yeah. First part of the race there, kind of bottled it. Didn't really know what I was doing. Didn't have the long run speed that Kevin and Guest had. You probably saw Kevin and I were going at it there a little bit. So I think that both of us kind of burned our stuff up, but I knew I got the bad end of it. So I was just trying to hold on there. Then I don't know if we put it under caution or under green to end that little run, but once we got it going there, fuel kind of came into question again, and kind of saw what Guest was doing to really keep the long run speed, keep the rears under it. So matched with them pretty well in that second run, and then just had a really good pit stop under green and took the lead. And at that point, I saw what Guest was doing the first run there, where he was just kind of controlling the pace of the field and kind of backing everybody up a little bit. And so I knew I kind of needed to just manage my pace, keep an eye on fuel that whole time during that last run. And, I could let Guest and Kevin catch me a little bit. I had about a second and change on them. So, yeah, really all about kind of managing that pace a little bit and worrying about fuel. And, once you get under like 10 to go and then 5 to go, kind of everything goes out the window about fuel mileage, and you'll push it as hard as you can. And just played it perfectly.
4th win on the season is now the point where you start looking at the regular season points championship and trying to reel in Michael Frisch. Even though you've missed a couple of races here and there, with 4 wins, that's got to help.
Yeah, that's it's pretty cool. If I'd be able to do it again, won the regular season championship last year. Unfortunately, I will not be here for next weekend's race, so that's going to hurt me quite a bit. And at this point, I mean, if anything, I'm if I do try to push for a championship, I'm more worried about the start limit here than anything, because I've already missed 3 or 4 races, and definitely going to miss a few more here during the summer. So hopefully I'll have enough races here before the playoffs start. But in the meantime, while I do race, I'm just going to try to go for as many wins as possible.
Well, Brian, congratulations on the win. We won't see you next week, as you just said, but we'll see you in a couple of weeks when FTF comes back to ftf.gg. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all putting on the broadcast, being the broadcast crew. Everyone over at FTF putting on the race. Dale and Barr Visuals for sponsoring FTF, FTF's Cup Series, and myself personally, good buddy of mine. Thank everything he does for helping out the community for sim racing. Kevin and Mikey there for giving me a good race, being with me all race, and I could kind of learn from them a little bit. So that was fun. And yeah, hopefully next time I race, I'll talk with you boys again.
Brian Mercurio, your race winner tonight from Nashville. Now, second place finisher, it's Michael Guest with Ben Easterday.
Michael Guest, those last 5 laps, you changed your lane or changed your line there to enter as hard as you possibly can to try to gain that position. Was there anything else you could have done to try to catch Brian there?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It was a fun race, but yeah, the fuel race was kind of tough. I was really saving there the entire run, so when you're clutching like that, it just kind of burns up the right front and just makes it even harder to be in dirty air. So I was trying to cut through that as much as I possibly could on entry and get as close as I could to kind of like break the air bubble a little bit. But yeah, it was just really hard. I was trying to run him out of fuel. I knew he was really close. I knew he didn't have much even at the line when we finished. So yeah, just trying to do that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but had a really good time.
Yeah, you had 0.1 left. How much did you have left there?
I had about a lap. I wanted to have enough to where I could go hard, and I started going hard around 15 to go. I stopped clutching, but even by that time, my right front was kind of done, so I could gain the time on entry. Just everything else, he definitely had the advantage in the clean air.
Well, you were close, but not close enough, but still good for a P2 position. Anyone you want to say hi to or thank?
Yeah, just you guys for broadcasting in the FTF league. It's always fun. Really good race tonight. Glad we went green. We don't get field mileage races too often on iRacing, so always fun to be part of one, I guess.
We appreciate you being here, and thank you so much. As Michael Guest in P2.
Now let's talk with our third place finisher, Kevin King. Kevin, another strong run tonight. Did you have anything for Michael Guest and for Brian Mercurio?
I don't think anyone really had anything from Mikey long run. Brian was obviously really fast too, but it turned into a fuel mileage thing. I think if I had to put it into pure pace, it was Mikey was definitely faster than most people. Then everyone else is pretty even. But yeah, I had fun. I'm super happy for Brian. It's his birthday. So it was fun racing those guys. We burned our stuff up early racing too hard, and then it turned into fuel mileage, but it was pretty fun.
Another good finish for you on the sort of mile concrete, like this type of track. Another good run, just looking down through 7th at Gateway, 6th at Charlotte, 2nd at Chicago, 5th at Dover the last time we were on concrete. Starting to put these top 5 finishes together as the season rolls along. Victory lane's got to be coming soon, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. There's some really good people in this league, and depending on kind of how the cautions fall and track position and things like that, it's not real easy to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go win a race. The fact that I even got the pole was surprising. I don't really like this track very much, but I had a rough race in a league race here last Monday, and I was not looking forward to this one. But magically, I had enough pace. The setup was so good. Kevin McAdams did a great job in the setup. It was more than I probably anticipated in terms of being loose. I expected it to be a plow box like the fixed setup was, but they made a great setup and made the racing super fun. It wasn't just sitting behind people the entire time, so that was awesome. So kudos to those guys for making a really good setup. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, third is good. I'd like to win, but you just got to put yourself in contention, and I feel like I'm doing that.
Well, congratulations on the race win, and we'll see you next week from Road America.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Kevin King, your third place finisher tonight from Nashville. Final thoughts, Ben?
It was a surprisingly clean race. There was only one caution. There was a couple cars that spun out on their own, and a couple cars got wiggled out there. But all in all, pretty clean race and a pretty good finish, pretty close finish there.
Certainly one to remember here from Nashville. We're back next week from Road America for a roughly 9:45 start time next week. In the meantime, ERL's back at Richmond with the Modifieds on Wednesday night at 7:30. Winsdale is off tomorrow. It's back next week from Chicagoland for the USG Sheetrock 400. For Zach Johnson, our producer, and Ben Easterday alongside me, I'm Jacob Hintz. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Wednesday, and if not, we'll see you Saturday from Road America.